Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pilot Talk, the podcast where we focus on aviation-related subjects ranging from how you can get started with your pilot education to career advice for pilots and the latest news from the aviation industry.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Today we have a special guest with us, Michelle. You want to introduce him?
We do. He's first of all, he's an instructor with us at the academy here in Västerås, Sweden. His name is Sebastian Soltani. And he's quite a special guy.
Yeah, he's had a really exciting project running. He's been on an expedition to Nepal.
That's right. Yeah, he's an explorer.
He's an explorer. Yeah, definitely. And we are really looking forward to having him on the show.
Absolutely.
Going to go through his story, why he chose to do it, and how it went down, and what he learned from it. That's
exactly. And what's his next project?
Exactly. Yeah. What's his next?
Maybe there's another hill out there.
There's still Mount Everest. Maybe he's going higher next.
It's not high enough.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's going to be a pleasure having him on the show.
Yeah.
You're listening to Pilot Talk by OSM Aviation.
Alrighty, welcome to the Pilot Talk podcast, Sebastian.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you look fresh. You just you've recovered from your trek and climb.
Yeah, it took a month, but I'm quite good now. It feels good.
Yeah,
to get back on ground. Yeah,
that's great. I mean, I definitely admire your courage and your stamina.
Thank you
to do that, and you've done it for a good cause as well.
Indeed, raising money for cancer research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
How did you come back? How did you come with that? Like, what did you wake up one day and say, "Listen, I'm going to climb this mountain and I'm going to do it for charity"?
So, it began with me wanting to get fit. So
okay,
yeah. So one thing led to another. So I looked for motivation to go to the gym. So so basically, I chose a mountain to get fit.
That's good. That's a good way of doing it.
You got to be the first guy that says that, because I don't know, man. There's a couple of good gyms around where I live. No, but you know what? It's definitely it's like somebody saying that I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna climb the Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. But yeah. So did you get in shape?
Yeah. So it started with the gym part. So I looked up a PT. And we started from there. I have 1 year. So I started in 2018, in October. Yeah. And so the preparation took almost a year.
Okay.
So I had a good PT, good help. So yeah. And so I had 1 year to go for smaller peaks like Kebnekaise in north of Sweden. Yeah. And I did a lot of hiking as well. So yeah.
So PT would be a physical trainer.
Yeah,
if I correct. Yeah. And so you had a window for the climb.
Yeah.
So and then you came from that window. You moved it back in a year, and a year and a half. You said, "I'm going to take a year and a half to get myself ready for that window."
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why did you choose that peak?
Actually, it was a last-minute decision. So the first actual plan was to go to Everest Base Camp, and that's 5,000 meters.
5,000 meters.
Yeah. So that's hiking mostly. So so that was the first goal.
Right.
And
you don't need a Sherpa to go up there. You can do it by yourself.
Yeah, you need a guide.
Okay.
It's still far up.
Yeah.
5,000 meters. I mean, not many people.
How high is that in feet, for our non-metric listeners?
How much is it? It's like, I don't know, 15,000?
Over 15,000 feet, yeah. So basically you're in the no or very little oxygen air zone.
Yeah.
So I know that altitude sickness is a big thing for climbers. So did you acclimatize yourself? Did you plan it in your year of getting fit, that you also will have to spend some time at altitude to get yourself acclimatized?
Yeah. So basically, it's 2 months prior to the trip, they asked me if I was interested in Mera Peak. That's the name of the peak.
In Nepal?
Yeah, in Nepal. And mera in Swedish means more. So
More.
yeah, more. So I thought she meant, do you want to go for more peak? I didn't get it that the mountain was
Right.
the name, like Mera Peak.
Right.
So I Googled it, and after that, my focus changed 180 degrees towards Mera Peak. And we changed the training. We had this plan for how to train, prepare for the trip.
Right.
So we changed that. I went out more for running and with a lot of weights and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you didn't really want to get stronger. You just wanted to get that stamina.
Stamina,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, you could prepare yourself as much as possible, but it's never enough. And,
Yeah, I mean, God, I admire you, man. I tell you, Stein, you'd be able to do that, couldn't you?
Oh man, I'm not sure.
No, you're
I'm
young.
not sure. I would probably have to train as well. Then maybe that's the motivation I need. Just do like Sebastian. I'd be like, pick a mountain, pick a date.
No
That'll
kidding.
get you to go to the gym.
So
I like
you're-
that approach. It's cool. Yeah.
So your first target was Everest, the 5,000
yeah, the
mark.
Everest
That's it.
base camp.
The base camp.
Yeah.
That was it. But then
That
they
was it.
said, we'll go into the Mera Peak.
Mera Peak, and I started doing my research, and then I switched focus 180 degrees towards the Mera Peak project. Yeah.
And when you say we, you had some other people with you in the expedition.
yeah.
How was that? How was the team put together?
We were 5 in my group,
Okay.
and so I didn't know them, all of them. We had 3 from Sweden and 1 Indian girl, and so together we were 5, and we had 2 leaders, 1 expedition leader, and in total we were 23 persons involved in this expedition.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a big expedition.
So 5 climbers or 23 climbers?
No, 5 climbers,
Yeah, I mean,
but the staff,
support.
support staff.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
porters, we had chefs.
Right.
Yeah.
Pilot Talk with Stein Mjotvid and Michelle Treskin.
Now, did you? I'm trying to put myself in your shoes here, your climbing shoes. You got 5 people with you, or 4 other people with you, and do you? Well, I would have made sure that these 4 people are the same level of fitness that I am. Did you do anything like that? Did you research that to make sure that they would climb at the same place and they would reach the summit at the same time as you? Is there any way of knowing that?
No, I tried to Google them up and see. Obviously, you want to know who these people
Yeah,
are,
absolutely,
right?
yeah, sure.
But I didn't find them. I found one of them, and that was the Indian girl.
Right.
And she was quite cool. She was this Instagram influencer, and she didn't look fit, but she was quite strong when we were there.
Really?
I got amazed. Yeah, she was quite strong. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, that's cool. So 5 climbers, and did they practice just like you did?
I think they did. I'm not 100% sure about all of them, but most of them had some time to prepare. But I think we were at the same level, all of us. Yeah.
And you met him at the same at the time of the climb.
Yeah. So
that was the first time.
that was the first time I met him at the hotel.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So we just shook hands and had a breakfast, and then
Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go.
Cool.
But
Let's
it
go
was
climb a mountain.
Yeah, no kidding.
Breakfast was good, but
But it
now-
was that's all right. So what do you do? What'd you eat for breakfast? I'm curious for your walk.
Yeah, I mean, every day, or you mean the first day when we met?
Were you on a special diet? Basically?
No, I mean we had a chef there.
Okay.
He was very good. He was actually a Sherpa as well, so he was not just a chef, but he did very healthy breakfast for us. So with a lot of energy,
Yeah.
because we walked for 7 or 8 hours a day.
So
So
carbohydrates.
yeah,
Yeah.
so a lot of energy. Yeah.
Any special supplement like caffeine pills, amphetamines? I don't know. I'm asking.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
So just all natural stuff.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Okay. And what did your parents say about that when you said?
They were quite worried. My mom was worried. She was like, I mean, she didn't know what Nepal was, and so I had to show her YouTube clips because otherwise she would make her own stories in her head, you know. So I showed a clip of Mera Peak, so she knew what to expect.
Okay. Yeah.
You did some other stuff in your preparation phase too, right? You reached out to a few companies and you asked for some support.
Yeah.
That's when I first learned about your expedition.
So that was almost 2 months prior to the, a month and a half or two prior to the trip. And I saw this, it started with me seeing this YouTube clip of this guy. He was a marathon runner and he had this GoPro mounted on his helmet. Yeah. And he had around 200 or 300 meters to the summit. And he didn't make it. So
really?
So he almost cried in this.
So close.
Yeah, so close, and his body just shut down. So me seeing this, of course, I got worried. Absolutely. So I told myself that I needed more motivation to do this. Yeah. And so I sat with a close family member who had cancer, struggled with cancer earlier, and the idea was to do something for cancer research. Because this person got better from new research. Yeah. So that idea popped up in my head. So from there, I went back home and I said, okay, I have to do a concept, or I have to sell it to these companies or people who I wanted.
Like a business plan. Or
like a business plan. Sure, so first thing was to come up with a name, and that was Bid to the Summit. So I started this Bid to the Summit where I invited companies to bid.
Okay.
So I did this bid plan.
Good idea.
25 kronas or 50 kronas. Yeah. Or as OSM stepped in and
they gave you 1 million kronas.
Almost, no. Yeah, almost. But 150 kronas per every 100 meters.
For 100 meters. Yeah. Wow.
So
that's real good.
That was quite generous. So at that point, I chose OSM to be the head sponsor for Bid to the Summit. Yeah.
And that by doing so, you would actually bring a flag up.
So I promised them in return, or I actually didn't promise anything because
you weren't sure you're going to make it.
I mean, nothing is sure.
That's right.
The YouTube clips still went through my head, over and over. So, but I told them that I would bring a banner with me with their company logos. And if everything goes as planned, I would highlight the companies on the summit and take a picture. Yeah. And OSM got a own flag.
Right. Yeah. I saw both of them. Right, very well done. Absolutely.
It was cool too because Sebastian came to me and he had such a great plan. And he's like, "Hey man, this is what I want to do. Can you guys support with some gear? I'm raising money for cancer research. I'm doing this bid to the summit." I was like, it was so easy. It was like, this is super cool. You're going on this adventure and it's just like a, package deal. He goes, "Hey, there it is. You guys want to step in and do something?" And I was
you can't say no.
It's a no-brainer.
No, it's a no-brainer.
Easy.
I mean, absolutely. If you say no.
And I look at this guy too. He's very charismatic.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
He looks like an actor.
Thank you, guys.
It's like,
So bad we don't have a camera.
We could take a picture.
Or we go on YouTube.
Take a photo. We'll take a photo. Yeah. Michelle's very keen on making this into a vlog, and I think he's got a really good point.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
And, I'm a good-looking guy, so I want everyone to see me. But you know what? As pilots, and we fly up above 10,000 feet, where we are, everything's pressurized, or was as a military pilot, we had oxygen and mask and all that. Did you ever think of going to a chamber and getting yourself high altitude prep by going to a chamber and asking the guy to bring you up to 12, 13,000 feet and staying there for half an hour?
I have never had those type of ideas. Okay. I honestly didn't know how my body would react to the altitude. Right. So everything was, I think I have good diet there, good sleep, and every factor is like important when you climb a mountain.
But you did have some symptoms of sickness.
Yeah. So I got sick. I got a flu. So I got very bad at 4,000 meters, which led to altitude sickness afterwards.
Right.
the body doesn't recover as it would if we were.
No, that's right. Yeah, exactly. You're like an old man.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to recover.
It takes a long time. Yeah,
exactly.
it took me a few days.
Yeah.
I think at the summit, I felt that my body was still struggling. Yeah, but I didn't have any choice. I just go up.
Were you carrying oxygen on you yourself just in case something happened, or any
no oxygen?
any pulmonary shots that you give yourself?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
No.
Okay, all right. And your guide had anybody had oxygen on them? No.
I think they had a spare bottle, but they left it at high camp, so they didn't bring it up to the summit.
Yeah. Because they didn't think that 5,000 meters is a big deal. Maybe. The guide I'm talking about.
No, I mean, basically when we wake up the summit day, they check on us. They see how we feel. If you have headache or if you have the tiniest symptoms, they would stop the expedition.
So blood pressure, heartbeat, and all that stuff.
They check all of those things. Yeah, but from that we just went off. Yeah.
Right. Now. I'm asking a lot of questions because it's such an interesting
keep going
adventure. You sure, buddy?
Yeah.
I'm taking all your time.
No,
you're
it
looking
doesn't
at
matter who is asking the question.
I'm just kidding. Now, you didn't just get off the hotel and went to the mountain. I mean, you had to walk a long ways to the mountain.
Yeah, that's correct. It took us 15 days.
Wow.
Yeah, 15 days to reach the summit.
So what altitude is the hotel at that point?
I mean, we started at Kathmandu, where.
So was what that?
So it's like, I think it's almost
3,000 meters, isn't it?
I think it's 2,000 something.
Yeah, 2,000. Okay, yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So the first night in Kathmandu, and after Kathmandu, we took a car ride, and it was I think it was almost a day drive to Paplu. And Paplu is it's a small airfield, about 2,000 meter ish.
Yeah.
So we started actually from there, but we went up and down
in the valleys and up and down.
So I think we gained, if we want to summer the meters, I mean that I went up, it's almost 7,000 or 8,000 meters in total.
Wow.
Because we went down a lot as well. Before reaching the summit.
Jeez, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of meters to climb.
Yeah, a lot of walking.
Yeah, you feel it in your knees.
Oh, absolutely.
I can promise you that.
Do you need special shoes? Did you have a special equipment that you had to buy? And all that?
So you need to have good equipment, good shoes. That's like most important part of this journey. You have to have good equipment. Yeah.
And that was all sponsored by companies.
No, not all of them. The thing, I had logos on my jacket and so on hats and stuff. That was sponsored by OSM.
Right.
But the lower part, like shoes and stuff like that, that was bought
by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier.
Yeah. Right.
This is it's a really interesting story, Sebastian. When it comes to the journey itself, we've heard about all your planning, all the efforts that went into it beforehand. That you met the team down there, never met them before, and then you guys started climbing. The journey itself, going up to the peak. You said you got sick along the way. It takes a longer time to recover. What other challenges were there? And you said that the team seemed like you guys were on an even level, fitness-wise and capability-wise. Did you guys have any other issues working your way to the summit or even back down again?
I mean, the journey was. I mean, you know yourself very good after a trip like this. You have a lot of time to think. So I got a very good friend with my physical strength. Yeah. So I know my limits now.
That's right.
Before this trip, I didn't know. So that was also a thing. I want to know
an eye opener.
Yeah, an eye opener. Yeah. Not everyone in the group made it up to the summit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was quite. That was also a sad story because we were quite near the summit, and one of us in the team didn't.
Due to altitude sickness.
Yeah. So that was quite
that's
sad.
shame.
Yeah, that was shame, and that affected a lot of us. Yeah, because it's in the head, you know.
Yeah.
When those thoughts start
Psychologically,
coming,
it could be a brain drainer.
So I went there, and I looked at my clock and watch and waited for me to get bad. That was the.
You expected that to happen?
Yeah, because he was fit as well, you know. Seeing a guy like that, like just fall down, you know, it affects you.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Especially if the guy's, maybe he's a marathon runner and, somebody who just, that's all he lives for is sports, and then he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you never know how your bodies react. That's the thing about climbing mountains. But you see the Sherpa people, they're quite, they are strong, but they're not big.
No, they're small people.
They're small people, and they're quite. It's funny when you watch them go up and down. They jump down.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So.
It's their world. It's the way they're brought up. They're born in that altitude. I mean, geez, they're just like they're so adapted to the surrounding conditions. Yeah, incredible.
So I had this thing in my head. There is a saying, how do you eat an elephant, right?
Right. I don't know. I never tried.
Usually we don't eat a big thing like that. But that went to my head all the time. So take one day at a time, one bite at a time, you know. And after a week, it went from one step at a time. And then near the summit, it went one breath at a time. So,
really?
Yeah. So I counted my steps.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
Wow. And you had poles to help you go up?
Yeah, we had the last part. We had ropes and Zoomars, so we are attached to each other.
Okay,
that's like a safety thing because most of the climb is through. I lost the word.
Rocks or
no, it's not rocks. It's glaciers.
Oh, glaciers. Okay.
Glaciers,
yeah.
So,
ice and all that.
Ice, yeah. So
you had ice crampons.
Yeah,
and all
we
that?
had crampons and we had ice hacks and.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus, man, I envy you. I mean, good for you. Good for you. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's a fantastic achievement.
Yeah.
Pilot Talk. Available on iTunes, Spotify, or osmaviation.com/podcast.
Here's just one quick question. If you had to redo it again, what would you do different?
I think I would prepare myself mentally more.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of time in the gym.
Yeah.
And I was out running as well, but I didn't stop and think through the whole trip. So
you didn't think about the mental thing.
So I probably would focus more on those type of things because I had a reason to why I went there. But the mental part, I think I would have worked more on.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I probably would not have thought of that as well. You take more. You think it's more of a physical strain and stamina that you need, but I can see where the mental.
Because
especially when
you don't want to stand at 5,000 meters and asking yourself, why am I doing this? Because
it's not a good time or place.
It's dangerous, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. No kidding. Oh my God.
So sort out those things before you leave.
Right. Yeah.
How would you go about mental preparation for a trip like this?
Focus more on breath. Yoga is very good. Meditation, yeah. Breath techniques.
Yeah.
Because it helps a lot to breathe from the stomach.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that helped me. Breathe to the stomach and focus on the breathing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Form of meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Michelle, you asked what he'd do different if he was going to climb the same mountain again, and then that made me think, are you planning on climbing another one?
Actually, they reach out. They are planning for 8,000 meters peak next year.
Oh,
yeah.
That's high.
Yeah, that's very high. 8,200 meters.
That's over 20,000 feet.
That's about I think
That's what they call the dead zone, isn't it?
500 meters, 500 or 600 meters under Everest, lower than Everest. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a dead
without
zone.
oxygen.
Yeah. Oh, without. Yeah.
So I have to think about that. I think I still want to enjoy this summit.
Yeah. How old are you now?
I am 32.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're getting up there.
Yeah.
For some kind of I don't know. For me, the younger the better. I think, is it?
I think so.
Like I'm too old for that, but I have a hard time going up a flight of
That's
stairs.
where we're
for God's
recording the next podcast. It's on the top of
Let's go.
but with oxygen, though.
but let me tell you something. We had this guy. He was 66 years old, and he made it up.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was about to quit the day before, and I talked to him and I said, "Hey, you have to support me on this." And he said, "Of course, I'm gonna support you." So he joined.
Wow.
Yeah, he changed his mind. Yeah.
Wow.
And he's also Swedish, 66 years old. So inspiring guy.
Wow.
I hope to be like him when I'm
Yeah, no
66.
kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's so
Wow,
cool.
well done.
So you guys help
Each other,
motivate
yeah,
each
yeah,
other,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Because then he had
absolutely.
made a commitment to you going,
Moral support.
So earlier when I was sick, he helped me in the early stages of the trip.
Yeah.
And when he got bad, I jumped in and
helped him.
motivated him. Yeah.
that's teamwork right there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a
So-
good example of that. Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about that school that you saw.
Oh, the school project,
Yeah.
the Tade school project.
Yeah.
It's a school in a village called Tade. It's 3,000 meters up. So that was a stop we did early on the trip.
Yeah.
And this school is built by Swedish travelers.
They all chipped in.
And they sponsor the school. It's also companies. I know that some big companies has also been involved in sponsoring. So they have a very nice fresh school now at 3,000 meters. And they have also next to the school, they have like condos for the students. Some of them come, it takes
Living quarters, yeah?
yeah, maybe a day to reach the school. So they sleep there
All right.
during the weeks, and then they go home at weekends. And so it's quite a nice. I get motivated about the project, and I of course wanted to help them out.
Absolutely.
And so I have reached out to companies that they want to support with digital stuff like computers and
absolutely,
tech stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so they could collaborate and use internet and stuff like that. But they have one problem: they don't have any electricity. Yeah,
Solar
so that was the thing that I got interested into helping them with, fixing solar panels, for instance. Yeah.
Well, you know, the good news is that first, two things. First of all, our listeners, I'd love to see, I'm sure the listeners would love to be charitable and contribute and give, definitely. So I think we need to add some kind of a link where they can actually give donations, if it's possible.
That would be great.
Absolutely. Just make sure that you leave it to us. We'll have it somewhere. And I think that also one more thing about the solar panels.
Yeah.
I think Sweden is one of the top country that actually has the technology to make some really, really flexible, high power and all stuff. Maybe one of our listeners will have a contact, and then they'll be able to come back to you. So if somebody's listening, solar panels, and please give.
Yeah, please do so, because these children, they're actually quite smart.
Yeah.
And I think if they had the same opportunity that most of us
absolutely,
here have,
absolutely.
I think
It's the future.
Yeah, they are the future, and they speak English fluently. Yeah, so I mean, you should see them. They a lot of energy. Yeah. So.
Oh, I saw the pictures that you had. It's just, I love kids, and I think that it's we need to give. We have so much, and that we should be giving.
Yeah.
To help.
So if you're listening and you want to help out, just reach out, and I will be super glad.
Yeah, we'll have something for the people to contact you.
We'll put up a link on our Instagram page, the Pilot Talk podcast.
Yeah, Yeah.
We can have a URL up there to
appreciate it.
to a donation website.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
And then anybody who wants to chip in, go there and contribute.
Yeah.
Please.
So basically, I'm inviting people. They could join me on this trip. They could be there mounting the solar panels with me.
Oh, yeah.
And we could teach these kids stuff, not just mathematics, but culture-wise. I mean, where they had one kid there teach them football, for instance.
Oh, yeah,
They
absolutely,
have
yeah.
one teaching them dance. So it doesn't have to be...
Well, Stein would be good at that. Because I saw you dance there at the Christmas party. I think. That's,
So if you want to volunteer as a teacher, you're more than welcome as well.
yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would like. I'd love to do that kind of stuff. I mean, definitely, absolutely. It's part of your little cards that you got there. You know,
What's that? The cards?
the cards that you got from the post last night. The aim thing there. Anyways, well,
You got, I mean, it's at 3,000 meters, so you should come definitely because you do high altitude training there.
yeah,
Just run up and down to get fit. If you have a goal in Nepal you want to reach, if you have a summit that you're targeting, it's the perfect place to do a high altitude training.
wow,
Yeah. So I'm trying to find this thing that I could produce. I mean, like Bit to the Summit, to companies that if you join me, you could do all of these things. So, and I hope to find people.
You've got a
out there.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
Sounds
really good initiative.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting to follow
Yeah. Thanks.
how those projects go.
Yeah.
yeah. We'll
Maybe,
have to part 2.
Yeah, we'll have to do a follow-up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, absolutely.
If I succeed, we should definitely do a follow up.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Pilot Talk. Everything you need to know about being a pilot.
All right, Sebastian. So what about your target for raising funds? Did you meet your target? Did you get as many donations as you guys wanted?
So I set a target before leaving, 10,000 kronos. That was my target, and very quick I reached the 10,000, and I think last time I checked is 37,000 plus now. So 37,000 kronos.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well done.
So that was quite amazing.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Let's go for 100,000 after this podcast.
So 100% of the money goes to Cancerfonden. It's a cancer research company here, or foundation. It's I don't know if it's a company. It's more of a...
It's a Swedish company.
Yeah, it's a research foundation. Yeah, and they have this event every year. Cancergalan. It's a event that they have, fundraising event.
Oh yeah, okay.
They send it on live TV.
Oh, cool.
So they reached out and they invited me there. So I'm going there.
And you're gonna do sort of
January, yeah. And they're gonna do a coverage of the trip. They asked for pictures and stuff. Yeah. So that's quite
Nice.
amazing. Yeah.
that's cool.
It's so good that this is getting the amount of attention that it is, because obviously that's going to help you raise even more attention and focus towards the cancer cause.
Yeah, of course.
And potentially also raising more money for research.
Absolutely.
I think
And it's all good.
Yeah,
all
I hope
good.
this trip and fundraising inspires others to do the same.
They should.
I hope so.
Oh God, I should. Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Because it's all a good cause. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know. So reach out there, guys.
Reach out.
Reach out and
Give
help
if you
someone.
can.
Yeah.
Good. Alrighty. I think that's a wrap. It was really nice to have you here, Sebastian.
Thank you
Pleasure
for
and
having
an
me.
honor.
Thank you
And
for
an
having
honor.
me, guys. Yeah, it was great. I had
Great
a lot of fun
stuff.
here with you guys. Yeah.
And we're really glad to have you as well. I think just, towards the end, I'm going to try to summarize some of the lessons that you taught us here today.
Mission accomplished.
Exactly. From your successful mission is that it takes some planning.
Yeah.
And don't just plan for the physical parts. Also remember to prepare yourself mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you're in the game, you're in it to win it. Having a cause, raising money for something, or having a sponsor that's behind you for every 100 meters you can climb will give you motivation.
Yeah, definitely.
And also rely on your buddies that you're going with. The older Swedish guy that you talked about who supported you, and then you supported him, and you guys helped each other get all the way to the
That
top.
was amazing.
Teamwork. Yeah.
That was really inspiring to hear about.
Is it? Yeah.
And then, aftermath can be pretty fun. Going to events in Stockholm
Yeah.
and getting interviewed.
I mean, I didn't expect all of these.
You're a celebrity just like us,
This
man.
is just plus, you know.
Yeah, this is the bonus.
Yeah, this is the bonus.
And you'll have the groupies and all that. It's going to be fun. Movie deals. You never know. But I'm sure you didn't expect that kind of feedback after the climb.
I mean, when I reached the summit, I was glad. The thing that went to my head was, okay, now I've secured the money.
Yeah.
So I knew that it would be a lot of money, but I didn't know that it would bring this kind of attention, you know.
Yeah.
So remember, 10,000 kronas, that was the goal, not 37,000.
Well, you're an incredible human being because you went up there and you weren't really thinking about yourself. You were thinking about others.
Yeah.
And that's just an incredible human quality.
So I think if I didn't have this bit to the summit in my head, I would probably not reach the summit. Yeah. So that was
You're motivated.
Yeah, that was my motivation all the way up. Definitely.
God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Well done.
Thanks, guys.
And on that note, blue skies.
Oh, baby. Happy landings.
That's it. All right. Ciao.
Ciao.